Coming up now on Animal Outtakes,
we get a variety of turtles with different injuries in.
We're visiting a hospital dedicated strictly to helping sea turtles. How this facility is making a difference. And you can help sea turtles too as a volunteer turtle watcher.
We look forward to all kinds of volunteers. Not everybody has to be on the beach at daybreak.
And what goes into owning a dog who is deemed a protector species.
You incorporate your training to the dog, not to a breed.
This and much more straight ahead on Animal Outtakes.
Hello and welcome to Animal Outtakes. I'm Marcia Panucci. Take a walk along the beaches of Florida around the months of March to October and you may come across one of these, a sea turtle nest. Luckily here on Longboat Key in Sarasota, Florida, Turtle Watch volunteers have identified a nest and roped it off as a warning to beachgoers to stay away. There are 5 species of sea turtles found in Florida waters, and all are either on the threatened or the endangered species list. So doing everything we can to protect one of these oldest creatures on Earth is so important. Sometimes, whether they are hatchlings or adults, they could use our help. And one place that sees its fair share of sea turtles is the Turtle Hospital in the Florida Keys.
It's very special to see these turtles get a second chance.
This is the moment they strive for. And for most of the staff at the Turtle Hospital in the Florida Keys, they've done it before. But there is something spiritual about releasing a sea turtle back into the wild, no matter how many times they've seen it. After all, sea turtles are one of the oldest species on Earth. Their ancestors were around with dinosaurs.
She was rescued a few months ago now. She was found at John Pennekamp State Park. A few months later, we get to release her. It's the best part of the job.
The Turtle Hospital has been rescuing and rehabilitating sea turtles for more than 30 years. Located on Marathon Key, this seafoam green building was built as a hotel back in the late 40s. But now, the only thing swimming in the large natural saltwater pool are these guests.
The Turtle Hospital is the first licensed veterinary hospital just for sea turtles in the world. There are currently about 14 other facilities in the state of Florida that rehabilitate sea turtles, and that shows you there's a really great need out there.
Plus, the turtles can get a lot of their care out here.
There's 7 species of sea turtles in the world. We're lucky enough to see 5 of those species in and around the Florida Keys, and unfortunately, due to human impact, a lot of those turtles are in need of help. People come through, they say, how do I know there's a sea turtle in distress? Well, sea turtles' food source is on the bottom, so if you see a turtle floating and that doesn't dive, that is not a good sign. That's a sign that that turtle is probably in need of help. Another sign is a lot of epibiota, or a lot of growth, like a small island on the back. That's a sign that that turtle has been floating for a long time. Sea turtles breathe air like we do, so they have to surface for a breath. Sometimes that's unfortunate timing with a boat and the prop of a boat. Some of those boat strikes, when they hit the lower spine, it causes a neurological problem and they can no longer dive. Those turtles are deemed bubble butts and non-releasable, but the good news is there's aquariums all around the world that are willing to give these turtles forever homes, and they go there and act as ambassadors and just teach people about sea turtles.
Something staff have found here. Many of its residents have come in with debilitating tumors, making their removal one of the most common surgeries performed.
Sea turtles have been on our planet for over 200 million years. They're what we call an indicator species, so what we see happening to sea turtles eventually is going to happen to all of life. So we feel it's very important to study sea turtles and especially see what's happening to them. In and around the Florida Keys, over 50% of the green sea turtle population has a fibropapillomavirus, which is related to environmental factors like pollution, and it's found really around the world in the oceans in and around developed islands. The fibropapilloma shows itself in tumors on the soft tissue, so you'll see them on the flippers, sometimes on the eyes, and worst case, they internalize on the internal organs. And in those cases, unfortunately, there's nothing we can do to help them.
But if caught, turtles like Huckleberry can get his tumors removed and be back in the water in 6 to 12 months. Learning more about the cause of this virus is what staff are working hard to discover, teaming up with universities across the country. Anywhere from 50 to 200 sea turtles come to the Turtle Hospital every year through research, education, and conservation. Staff are hopeful sea turtles will continue to swim in these waters.
So it starts here. Tracks were discovered from the water coming up to the shore, a sign that a female sea turtle had come to lay her eggs. Her nest was spotted by Turtle Watch volunteers, people who patrol the beach looking for these turtle clues. These stakes are put down to warn people about the nest, and these numbers here tells when the nest was first discovered. Next up, looking for more clues, tiny tracks leading back to the water.
With light and could blind them. We don't want to give them any problems when they go out to the water.
It's been about 60 days since the large female loggerhead first made her way up on shore. The next day, Turtle Watch volunteers could tell eggs were in this spot. The mama sea turtle leaves a huge tractor-like trail in the sand as she made her way to find the perfect nest site.
Now you talk about nesting season. Is that 1 or 2 a year, or quite a few?
Female turtle can come in 3 to 8 times. She'll lay 3 to 8 nests in a season. So she'll come in, every 5 or 6 days and drop a different
So
clutch of eggs.
multitasking, right?
Multitasking, yeah. And each nest has about 100 eggs in it. But yeah, she'll do that multiple times, and then lots of sea turtles come up and nest. So it's a good thing.
Trails were spotted leading away from the nest here. And now, a few days later, around sunset, Turtle Watch volunteers are permitted to excavate the nest, collecting data for researchers. They pull out all the remains of the nest, counting all the eggs that have hatched, those that did not, and checking to see if any hatchlings may still be inside. Using this time as a way to educate the public about sea turtles and ways they can help the species thrive. Here on Longboat Key, ordinances were put in place to protect sea turtles. Structures on the water are encouraged to turn off outside lights after dark, close blinds and shades, and remove any beach furniture as well.
At the height of the hatching season, we were seeing multiple disorientations each day due to lights, due to different events.
Sure.
So we do ask people to try and keep the beach as natural as possible. The hatchlings are extremely sensitive to light. In the natural world, that would be much brighter. The water would be much brighter just from the moon reflecting off of the stars than the land side. So any bright light that's on just distracts them, and they go that way. And they only have so much energy. They need their energy to swim out to the weed line. And if they use that energy to go to a parking lot or a swimming pool, then they don't have that energy to make their important swim out to the weed line. So
right.
we really do ask people to follow those ordinances.
And of course, we all love to walk this beautiful beach, our beautiful crystal, sugary beach. But we should stay away, right, from the nests?
Yep, yeah, we stake the nest so that we know where they are, and it is a federal offense to mess with a nest. So yeah, just leave them be, enjoy them. If you see people out in the shirts on the beach, we almost always wear our volunteer shirts to identify us. We love to ask questions and answer people's questions and inform them, but the nests really do just need to be left alone. Only about 1 in 1,000 hatchlings makes it to adulthood. So while there's 100 nests in there's 100 eggs in a nest, there's 100 eggs in a nest, only 1 in 1,000 makes it to adulthood.
Oh.
So you need 10 nests just to get 1 adult sea turtle to go along, because a lot of things impact them. So in the natural world, there's predators on land, raccoons, coyotes, armadillos, which are present in the natural world. Balances sometimes get shifted. But then in the water, there's natural predators, sharks, things like that would eat them, fish eat them. But then the commercial fishing can impact them.
Sure.
Our furniture, our presence on the land impacts their ability to be successful in breeding and reproducing. So we just ask people to try and keep the beaches as natural as possible, adhere to the regulations that are there. They're put there based on scientific data to help the species survive and maybe get off the threatened list.
If you're along one of the Florida beaches between May and October, not only is it important to be mindful of house lights that could confuse hatchlings, but also if you're digging in the sand, fill in any holes you might have created when you go to leave. So when those little guys and gals are ready to come out, they will have the best chance to make it straight to the water.
Coming up next,
For training a dog, there's no set parameters for training a certain breed.
they are bred to take action. Specific breeds who make the best guard dogs, protective of their family and their territory. And training is how protector breeds become the best dogs. You can be sure your furry friend continues to be loved and cared for even when you can no longer be there for them. Dante's Den provides a permanent, loving home for dogs whose owners have set up a lifetime care program for their beloved companion. We honor the trust placed in us by providing loving care, spacious dens, on-site veterinary care, and plenty of room to run and play. For more information, go to dantesden.org or call 844-DANTES Den. Dante's Den, continuing the love.
Welcome back to Animal Outtakes. Zeus here is not only my trusted canine co-host, but he's also my trusted guardian. In fact, throughout history, dogs have been used as watchdogs, and some species have traits that make them better suited than others when it comes to protecting their family. One species on that list, this guy.
You know, the old saying is that you can't teach an old dog new tricks. That's not necessarily true. You can teach any dog anything. This is Zeus. He's a 6-year-old German Shepherd. He's our resident head of everything. He stays on property and has a free run of the territory.
The German Shepherd is one of the most popular and recognizable breed of dogs, described by the American Kennel Club as being confident, courageous, and intelligent.
They're spectacular, yeah. They're loyal, they're very intelligent, and their demeanor is fantastic. This is everything you could ask for in a family dog, work dog, and it's the entire package. This is the best of all breeds combined into one. They're very pack-oriented. They were bred for herding back in the late 1800s. And it kind of bred to military use, and from that to police agencies. So that's kind of where their spick is now, where they are primarily protection dogs and military and police working dogs.
It's no wonder with all those characteristics they can make excellent guard dogs. But the key to training a dog like the German Shepherd who is protective of their family? Leadership on the part of their owner.
If the training is done right, you won't have an issue at home. If the kids are involved in the training as well, the dog will instinctively understand the hierarchy in what goes on at home and where he falls in line or she falls in line at home. They're pack-oriented. They fit perfect with a family. They understand instinctively pack mentality. They fall right in line with whoever is in lead of the pack. And if the training is done properly, there's no issues whatsoever. They're so intelligent and bright. They fall right in line. They understand almost 5 minutes into training, they'll pick it up, the nuances of what's going on. Training is based on how the dog is responding to the training. Anything more than 15 or 20 minutes in one duration of training is considered to the dog punishment. So the dog kind of associates too much training with punishment. So you want to ease into it, 4 or 5 sessions a day at 15, 20 minutes at a time, not for an hour straight, because they don't understand. They think that I'm getting jerked around on the chain and things. It's not good. So every dog is different, but if you work at it you could have a solid foundation in a couple weeks. So when you're out walking your dog, and a common problem is my dog pulls me when I'm out for a walk. It's actually an easy fix. When you're walking your dog, and Zeus isn't going to be the greatest example here because he understands what's going on, but when the dog gets in front of you and starts pulling you, you as the handler change your directions, and you only need really from 10-15 feet, and the dog gets in front of you, you change the directions. So anytime the dog gets in front of you, you as the owner change the direction so the dog understands, oh, he's walking me. And you can literally fix that problem in 5 or 10 minutes.
Most of the time, a dog is a reflection of its owner. When it comes to training, be consistent and give positive reinforcement.
No. Oy. Today you're a problem. I have to talk to your agent, Zeus.
Their MO is they're aggressive and mean, but it's all, again, it falls back to how they're raised in the family. Any dog can be trained to be mean and bite and carry on, but it also, on the flip side, any dog can be trained to be like Zeus.
The German Shepherd is one of the brightest and most intelligent breeds, and that smartness can lead to, well, sometimes a stubborn attitude. You know it's true, Zeus. That's one of the reasons why a protector breed of a dog needs continuous training. And let's face it, a well-trained dog is just much nicer to be around.
Coming up next, they make a great pet. They like to be held and are fairly easy to take care of. Their name has the word pig in it, but they are not related to swine at all. Next, we'll get up close to this domesticated rodent in Pet of the Week.
This is the story of a boy who was very sensitive to lights and sounds. So he built secret hiding places where nothing could get in. The boy didn't like looking people in the eye. It made him feel uncomfortable. One day, he found out he had something called autism. His family got him help, and slowly, he learned how to live with it better.
Early intervention can make a lifetime of difference. Learn the signs at autismspeaks.org.
40 million. That's the number of free phones still available and the number of how many Americans can still get prescriptions free.
Free could be wonderful.
That's why I'm still working at 77 years old to pay off my prescriptions.
I needed to have a prescription filled and I had to leave because I couldn't afford it.
Call now and see what's available for you. Free prescriptions. Over 10 million people get prescriptions free, and the program has expanded so another 40 million can. Free dental. Over 15,000 dentists have provided over $330 million in free dental work. Free cell phones. 40 million free cell phones are still available with free minutes and more.
Free cell phone would change my life right now because it is something I cannot afford to get.
Medical supplies like back braces, knee braces, and diabetic supplies may be covered too. The free RX Plus hotline has saved callers over $12 million on their prescription costs. These free programs are now available to 40 million more people. Call now.
In this week's Pet of the Week, we take a closer look at a rodent who is no longer found in the wild. Instead, if you'd like to snuggle with one, look no further than your friend's house. Guinea pigs were first domesticated thousands of years ago, and to this day are still a popular household pet. But is a guinea pig the right pet for you and your family? Dr. Don introduces us to Coco and Junior.
And this is what they do. You're looking at them. That's a high energy level if you're a guinea pig. Well, this is a Coco and Junior, and they're full-sized, and they actually make a great pet. They're not overly long-lived. Usually around 5 years is George Burns old if you're a guinea pig. And they're quiet. They just make little whistles. They're not fast like a gerbil, so a kid can actually play with them. They're like an eggplant with fur. Low maintenance. You don't have to vaccinate this little kiddo. You do have to feed him right. Matter of fact, only man, monkeys, and guinea pig need vitamin C in their diet. Kind of interesting. So they have to be fed a diet that has a stable vitamin C in it. And when you buy a bag of guinea pig food, make sure it says it's good for like 6 months or a year. They can also eat some fruits and vegetables, and some of them even eat citrus, so they won't get scurvy, just like sailors at sea. Interesting. They poop little tiny football-shaped dry turds. They don't smell. Like mice have a murine odor to them. These guys don't. They're not bitey, like hamsters. I've accidentally flung a hamster across the room before. When they bite you and you hold your hand back like touching a hot stove. Who could know? Anyhow, these guys are quiet and they're a great pet, safe for a 13-year-old kid. Pine shavings are fine. There's a bunch of beddings that are out there that are sterile, crumbled paper and stuff. Any pet store will send you in the right directions, right by the guinea pig food. They also like hay, some greenery, water on hand at all times. A cage about the size of this table would be fine. Maybe a little hide so they can get into it. They can climb on top. They're not jumpers. Once again, not like a gerbil. They're not bitey like a hamster. They're marvelous pets. But they're not like high maintenance. You're not going to see them on an exercise wheel or running around. They're kind of a low key, give them the remote kind of pet.
Guinea pigs' eyesight may not be as good as ours, but they do have a wider angle of vision than us, about 340 degrees, compared to ours, which is about 200 degrees. So now here's a question for you, Zeus, and you at home. Did you notice if Coco or Junior had tails? Did you see any? Well, you won't. Guinea pigs don't have tails.
Credit card debt can ruin your life. If you owe $10,000 and minimum payments are siphoning away your paycheck each month, you can get debt-free in less time than you think.
I've paid $800 a month for the past 3 years and haven't changed the balance on my credit card.
Get debt-free now has a program to reduce your debt, stop the harassing phone calls, avoid financial ruin, and settle for less than you owe.
I feel like a huge weight has been lifted off my shoulders.
You're pre-approved for our special hardship program if you owe $10,000 or more. Upon payment of your new lower balance, your debt will finally shrink until you are debt-free.
My family no longer has 30 years of payments ahead of us at 20% interest.
There's no fees until you see results. So call now, make one monthly program payment, and free up your cash. Resolve your debt.
Call 800-628-1251. 800-628-1251.
Just go do it. Go do it.
If you're not in control, then who is? Live above the influence.
ABC 7, your Suncoast News. We're here for you. Watch ABC 7 wherever you are, on our live stream, on mysuncoast.com, on the ABC 7 My Suncoast app, powered by the Eye Associates, providing sight for life, featuring traffic maps and live radar, dining with recipes, and My Suncoast Restaurant Guide. Visit mysuncoast.com. Click on the Apps tab to download the ABC 7 My Suncoast app for Apple and Android.
Thanks for staying with us. This is Dr. Benson, and we're going to head over to one of our trusted vets for some wonderful medical advice and facts. We're here with Joey. We call him Jojo. And Joey is our senior citizen. He is 10 years old, and we're on the lookout for some old age diseases and conditions. Can you tell us what to look for, Dr. Glassman?
Sure. There's certainly a number of old age diseases that both cats and dogs get. One of the most common in both cats and dogs is slow kidney disease and kidney failure eventually. And it's just natural aging as far as I know. The earliest sign you normally see is excessive drinking and urinating. And it's subtle at first, because a lot of people just fill the bowl. They don't measure what's in the bowl, especially if there's multiple pets. They come to you and you say, well, have you noticed any excessive drinking or urinating? I don't know, I've got 5 dogs.
We don't know which one's drinking.
Right, so it's hard in the early stages, but that's normally the most common sign you will see. Then the veterinarian, to try to confirm what's going on, will do blood and urine tests. Those are the 2 basic things to start. And another common disease, diabetes, mimics that too. So drinking more and peeing more, urinating more is diabetes also. But anyway, to kidney disease, so blood and urine are some of the first tests that we run. Interesting, in the early stages, the blood is completely normal, except maybe now for one new blood test called SDMA that has come out that some labs are running and may give us a sign of earlier than what we used to look for was what's called creatinine and BUN, which are common toxins in the blood that build up when the kidneys aren't filtering them properly. So anyway, interesting, you can lose 2/3, roughly 66% of your kidney function, and your blood work will be completely normal.
Wow.
And just to think of, that's why you can donate a kidney. You only need 1 good kidney to live. You can donate a kidney to save somebody, and you've immediately lost half your kidney function. But your kidney actually hypertrophies and gets bigger and starts functioning more than 50%. But basically, just to try to give you an analogy, a pet doesn't show any signs until they've lost 66% roughly of the kidney function. The blood will be normal. The urine should be abnormal. The urine should be diluted, and there should be some signs in the urinalysis. So make sure the vet does blood and urine.
Now, is that something that can be done for a pet? Can you have a kidney transplant?
In cats, you can, yes. There are some veterinary universities that do kidney transplants in cats. Of course, very expensive, a whole set of guidelines that have to be met, and lots of expensive ongoing care, from what I understand, for the rest of that cat's life. But kidney disease, basically, once we identify it, in general, we treat it with low-protein diets. A lot of veterinarians carry these special prescription diets in their office. Something else I like to add, I add omega fatty acids, which are the fish oils. I love omega fatty acids. They're natural anti-inflammatory. And blood pressure. Blood pressure should be checked by your veterinarian for cats and dogs, because that's part of what kidney disease is, and it helps control blood pressure. And if the blood pressure goes out of control, it sort of feeds back and accelerates the kidney disease, and it becomes a vicious loop. So we want to control blood pressure.
So we're going to watch what you take in as far as water and how much you go when you go out for your walk, and hopefully we will avoid some kidney disease. We hope you had fun and learned a thing or 2 along the way. Zeus and I will be back here again next week with even more animals and some wild adventures. Until then, thanks for watching. Thanks for staying with us. This is Dr. Benson, and we're going to head over to one of our trusted vets for some wonderful medical advice and facts. I think we should keep it in. That's my boy. That's my boy. Yeah.
Call to see if you qualify to enroll in a Medicare Advantage plan right now. At Humana, we believe great things are ahead of you when you start with healthy. And part of staying healthy means choosing the right Medicare plan. Humana can help. With Original Medicare, you're covered for hospital stays and doctor office visits when you're sick, but keep in mind you'll have to pay a deductible for each. A Medicare supplement plan can cover your deductibles and coinsurance, but you may pay higher premiums than you do with other plans. And prescription drug coverage isn't included. But with an all-in-one Humana Medicare Advantage plan, you could get all that coverage plus Part D prescription drug benefits, all for an affordable monthly plan premium, and in some areas, no plan premium. It's all described in this free book and DVD. Call for yours and discover how an all-in-one Medicare Advantage plan from Humana could save you money. Call 1-800-558-8779
Check out My Suncoast Dining on mysuncoast.com, your guide to the foodie lifestyle. ABC7's own Chef Judy serves up her favorite recipes, cooking tips and trends, dining blog, step-by-step videos, and Suncoast Restaurant Guide. You'll find it all at mysuncoast.com/dining. Get breaking news alerts focused on the Suncoast. Download the ABC7 News app. When severe weather strikes, trust ABC7 First Alert Weather. We're here for you.